Hello and welcome to another AIC video. Today I just want to do a quick video about keyboards. Specifically, my change in keyboards recently due to some issues I've been having with my wrist. So with everybody, probably, a lot of people at least, I've been working from home since COVID started over a year ago. And that meant I have spent a lot of time either working on a laptop, extra hours at my desk. I normally didn't sit there, things like that, and my wrist really started to hurt, specifically my right wrist, and that a lot of that had to do with my keyboard and mouse placement. So the first thing I did to address my wrist issue is I got a keyboard that didn't have a 10 key, so it was a 10 keyless keyboard, and that helped a little bit because I was able to kind of get things to be a little bit more ergonomic as far as the placement of my mouse and my keyboard, but that only helped for so long. And then I switched to, and I'm very much a right-handed person, I switched to using a left-handed mouse, which meant that I didn't have to use my wrist so much with my right-handed mouse. It's also more of an upright style, which is a lot more ergonomic for your wrist, so I wouldn't then transfer that issue onto my left wrist as well. But it helped a little bit, but it didn't help enough. And so I've done a little bit of research and went online, and I've bought 2 new keyboards to try out to help with my pain in my wrist, because it had really got to the point where I was having a hard time typing, writing, anything basically that used my right hand. My grip strength was gone. I haven't been able to go shooting very much because my hand just hurt all the time, and so I really needed a solution. And the first thing I picked up was this. Years and years and years ago, I had an original Microsoft Elite keyboard, and I had that thing for probably close to 15, almost 20 years. It was one of the first keyboards I bought myself when I was still a teenager, and I had it up till just a few years ago, and that's just because it died. It just quit working. I can still find them, but they're all used. And they're very expensive, $200, $300 for a used keyboard. I didn't want to spend that kind of money, but Microsoft does have an updated version here of a Microsoft ergonomic keyboard, and I have one noise to describe this keyboard. Ugh. It's awful. It is awful in every single way. First of all, yes, it is split, but it's not split enough. Yes, it does have this shape to it. It's not enough. This pad down here for your wrist rest, I thought it'd be hard plastic or maybe even just like a leatherette or something. It's foam. Foam. If you don't know what foam does when you use it for long periods of time, this will get so gross. And I've had a mechanical keyboard now for 4 years, something like that. And this is that rubber dome membrane keyboard, and it is, it's so awful to type on. This is a Cherry MX Blue clone. If I pull a keycap off here, you can see it has these blue keycaps. This one has backlighting, and you can hear it's nice and clicky. Has really good feel to it. It's not quite the same as a Cherry MX Blue, but very close. And it's been a great keyboard, other than my wrist hurting. This one it's mush. It's like typing in day-old oatmeal. Ugh, it is so unpleasant. Just typing on it gives me a physical disgust when using it. But then one of my coworkers at work actually uses a split keyboard, and I've seen them in the past, and I've looked at them in the past, but they're at the time they were very expensive, and there weren't a lot of options. But he's like, hey, a lot more options now. This one was only about $150. So I went online and started searching, and I found this. Now, this is a Minstrel, and the biggest reason why I picked this one is because it does have actual Cherry MX Blue key switches, which you can hear. You can hear the difference between these. Put it close to my mic. And the knockoff MX Blues. But if they feel really good on both, but these are definitely a higher quality key switch, I think. It is a very compact keyboard, as you can see, even compared to this other keyboard here. The physical difference between the two is fairly significant. So it did take me a little bit to get used to using this keyboard. I've had it about only about 4 or 5 days now. But in using this, oh my goodness, a lot of the wrist pain that I've been feeling, gone. Because I'm able to position these in such a way that my wrist is comfortable. I'm not having to force my wrist to be in a position that it doesn't want to be in. And I did pick up these mouse wrist pads, so I have one for either side, and I can position each one individually to be exactly where I need it to be as well. The other thing that this keyboard came with is it came with these rubber feet back here, and you can position them either on the back edge, so that way it lifts up like this towards you. I have it so that it's on the inside edge, so it lifts up this way. Obviously I'm exaggerating for the camera, but it allows my wrist to be, again, at a more natural position when typing. It's not super extreme, but it definitely makes a difference. This keyboard is extremely customizable, way more than I will ever customize it, to the point where it actually came with spare keycaps. It has an extended space bar. It has things to turn one of these sides into a numpad. You can switch out your function keys for like other functions like volume up, down, mute, that sort of stuff, play, pause buttons. And it came with those in the bag, so you have those matching keys. So again, this is just a quick video, but if you are having any kind of wrist pain, forearm pain here, from being forced into a position, typing, using your mouse, I highly recommend at least considering one of these split keyboards. It has been, again, just in 4 or 5 days of use, working on it, has been a life-changing experience for the pain in my wrist. It is still there. It hasn't gone away 100%, but I feel like using this over the next few weeks will definitely significantly reduce that uncomfortable feeling I've been having. So anyways, I'll put a link to these in the description down below if you're interested in investigating them. I bought this one because it fit my price point and it had the features I wanted. A few more bucks would have got me one with backlighting and Cherry MX Browns. I wanted to stick with the blues, so I gave up backlighting so I could keep the blue key switches because they're my preference. Plus it was another like 30 or 40 bucks for backlighting with this specific brand. Obviously there's a bunch of other options out there. So if you have any thoughts or questions, go ahead and leave that down in the comment section down below. I will do my best to answer. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day.